Ho ho ho. How you guys doing today? Anybody making any money? I just been laying back today. I missed a few good trades today. Ho ho ho. How you guys doing today? Anybody making Anybody here? How you all doing? I was just gonna take the day off, you know. Sometimes you just need a day off. But I still post my charts and I still make my lines. And you should be doing the same. One day we'll go over the Fibonacci chart. I know that Zach Hopper and a few others like it. And I'll tell you, I used to use it a lot. And I'll tell you, when I think back to when I used to use the Fib chart, I used to make more money. The chart definitely works and you can definitely depend on it. With that, the RSI and the it's one other thing. But you also have to know the different types of markets, how trendy the market is. But there's some good stuff out there. You can actually, I put it in our room, in Dex room, but I'll put it in here. You can actually go here if you want to learn about Fib charts. I learned early on, so it was a great plus for me. But you can watch some videos how to set up a TOS. It's not very difficult. Actually, when you go into here, right there where that, see my mouse is, and you go here, you set the fib there. You see it says Fibonacci retracements. This is Fibonacci time series, which I don't use. Time extensions, arcs, ratios, extensions. I only use this one right here. I don't know about the others. This would have worked this morning. Regression channels. What was it? This one. The different channels for this morning. It was in a channel. It still is actually. You can use up and down channels. You can use sideways channels like this to set up. What do you call it? But a lot of people with Fibonacci, it can be very, very, confusing. Also, if you don't like the colors, you can always change them. But the problem with Fibonacci is you got to change them all, and I don't want to do that. So set color for. Oh, so wait a second. Set color for all curves. Oh, maybe you can. I didn't know that. Jeez. Let's see. What would be a better color? Let's see. I don't use purple. I used to use it for 200. I think maybe less. Let's see. I kind of like that. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. Look at that. I got purple now. I kind of like that. Everybody like that better? We're all kind of like purple people, you know what I mean? Purple for Fib. Are you streaming today? Not really, but I'm set up. I just decided to put it on for you guys because I went in to listen to AK-47, and the truth was he was talking his own thing again, you know? So I figured, you know what? Maybe I'll just put it out there. I mean, I'm here. You can see. I'll smile for a second. I'm just not even dressed today. I'm still wearing my undershirt. So I just put me out there for a second. So Tommy, how you doing, Tommy? Have you been following that Fibonacci stuff in the other room? Do you do Fibonacci at all? Does anybody here know how to use Fibonacci? It's a good lesson for the future. Right now I'm watching, the SPY, and I just knew when we hit a real good high of the day today. When we hit right here, when we hit that high, that was a good time to do that put. It was a little over, 388 at the time. It was just a 380, almost a 388 change. I really wanted to go in with that put. And you know what? If I wasn't listening to Deck, I might have. He kept saying like it was going to take off. And I just knew it wasn't, So, but I didn't. And so I only did one little trade today just to say I did a trade. I made $8. You know what? I didn't lose. I didn't win, but you know what? We could have made some money today. We started up pretty high today, and you know what? I like in the mornings when you go back here and you look in the morning, and you look here when we first opened up. Didn't know which way it was going to go for a minute or so. What am I on, 1 minute? And then when it went up here, I knew it was going to come back down because you see the line. You know what? I told you guys I like to use this upper VWAP plot, but we shot for the plot and didn't reach it. I knew it was going to come back. And where do we come back to? See the other one? This one here. That's your lower VWAP. So we came in and we fell below, and then I just knew it was going to go back. So we stayed in the channel for a while between the lower VWAP plot and the 13 EXP, okay, exponential, and until we finally took off. When we hit that bottom one more time, I just knew. We never fell below that VWAP plot. So now you can see how important that VWAP plot is, because we went from VWAP plot to VWAP plot to VWAP plot back up to the VWAP plot. So you can see why I believe the VWAP plot is such a good plot. I mean, it's just a good, it's a good line to set up to watch, you know, whether it hits it or not. It gives you an in-between. So it's almost like when we set up between, in here there's red and green in here. Let me go back to right now. I'm going to take the Fibonacci out there. I know it's a little confusing for other people. Before I do that, I don't even like that color. I just want to change the color so it doesn't come up next time. Let's see, how do I do it? How do I do it? Oh yeah, you go on the actual color line, and then it's set color for all curves, and let's just make it something brighter that we're not using. Let's see that one. Let me just see what it looks like. Ooh, that's too bright. That would make me crazy. Wouldn't that make you crazy? Yeah, it would make me nuts. Okay. Let's just use a blue we're not using right there. Okay, for now. But anyway, I want to take it off for right now, and I'm going to remove it, the drawing. So now you can see, here's my, this one here is my upper resistance. I like that red. Maybe it is the right red. That's real red. Yeah, let's use that one. There's a real red. That's our, that's our resistance. For me, I don't put it there because I know what it is. And for you that are here now, I mean, you can look at this and you'll see that that's your support. So, and when I do it by myself, I don't need to put, like I would say this morning, 387.90, 388. That was our target this morning, which we hit for almost, we hit 388, but you can see it's changed now. Oh, you know, still the same, 388. And then our lower here, which is, that's our lower VWAP plot here. So if I tap on that, you'll see VWAP customizing. And that is our lower band. You can see about the color. You can change those colors. If you don't like those colors, you just change the color wheels. The only thing I do like, I want to make sure it's on number one. It is. If it's more than number one, it'll be a little too thick. So there you go. So here's your VWAP. So right now we're slightly above the VWAP. We're still, the bulls are winning right now. And we've got from 387 is our upper resistance. We're at it right now. So the question is, will we pull through? Looking at Fibonacci right now, we were 102 before. Now we're at 88. So it's still, we're still in the red today. We're still in the red, though the stock is a little bullish at the moment. But I think there'll be a lot of resistance here. And with being that way, it'll probably be every time it gets close there or just over, it'll be a good put. But like I said, I'm not trading at the moment. So Tommy, am I streaming today? No, I'm just here. I'm just here like everybody else. But nobody else is out there, so that's why I'm here for the moment. I'm here for the moment. I've just been, you know what, catching up on stuff. Catching up on certain videos that I like to watch. I see I'm looking at AK, still looking at dogs, cats, and animals, which none of you have any interest in right now. I don't get that, you know. You got people's attention, and then he'll walk away and say, oh, okay, I'm going to take a break now. Let's call it a day. See you later. Have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow. Nice, huh? And traders just want to trade. They just want to trade, right? So, Tommy, how many trades you do today? How many trades did you do? I just had 2 chili dogs, man. They were so good. Hebrew National Frankfurters with chili and Mexican cheese on top. It's like nothing like it. Right back for a second. Okay. All right, I'm here. Wow, this thing's breaking through resistance. Breaking through resistance. Tommy's 5 for 5 today. Look at him go. Averaging about $90 a trade on average. Good for you, Tommy. Excellent. You come a long way. You come a long way. That's a great thing, you know. Okay. I'm in the picture. But this is too bright. Okay. There we go. I had my white light on. I was doing a little something before with eBay stuff. So, 405. What did you do today? Mostly puts? Or did you do a few calls? Did you go for it, or do you like to do puts better? I personally, you know, some people like to do puts more than calls. I am one of those persons. I would rather get to resistance and then pull back than try to guess where the resistance is. Because you never know when there's going to be a breakout. And I don't play breakout, so I wait for the breakout. And I was going to jump in a few times today. I would have made some money. And I was doing the contracts that I have set are actually, I have a 384 contract for next Friday, I think, and the 392 call for today. So I was really like out there on the money. I did 2 contracts. I set it really low today. So if I decided to, I was, you know, going to be out of the money. And I'm pretty sure that's, let me see. I'm going to test that for 1 second. All I have to do is, let me just change the bottom one here, unlink this. I don't want to mess up 2 charts. So if I go to blue, that'll tell me. Oh, actually November 2nd. See, November 2nd, that's the put. And the other one was yellow, which is November. Oh, that one was November 4th. I don't know why I switched it back. That's November 4th. And this one here, 3, that's November 2nd. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the actual, first of all, to this. And I'm going to November 4th. Whoops. What am I going to do from there? November 4th. Which one would I... Oh, well, I don't remember now. The put or the call? Let's see. Let's see, yellow. The put I think I did was the 2nd. Let me see the price. Yeah, that's really cheap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put November... It was such a cheap contract. I didn't really care at the time. Let's see. I'm going to go to November 4th. That's Friday. Next Friday, by the way, I will not be here. I believe I do have a doctor's appointment in Boca Raton. Let me just see the time. So that'll tell me. Just going to check real quick. So, calendar, the 4th. Oh, wait a second. 28th was Dr. Baez. 4th. Yeah, 11:30. I will not be this Friday. I will not be on. I will not be here Friday. All right. So the 4th, the contract is and for the SPY. Wait, how did I get Twitter up here? I wasn't even looking at Twitter. Okay, for the SPY, and I set a 380. That would be a put. So I had a 380. Let's say 385. I'm gonna say 384. I'm gonna send the 384. And I'm going to send that to my blue. Okay, I'm set. So in case I decide to do a contract. 3 calls, 2 puts with deck. He has been hot. Yeah, he has been right on. He's been good. He only did, I think he only did 3. So, I don't know. I don't know. He only did 3. Okay. Let me just take one more look at this. Let me bring that down, bring this up. Okay, and 392, that looks so spotty. There must be very little interest on the 382 contract. Alright, that one's in red. Let me put this in blue here. So I got the 384 for November, 384 for November 4th on the put, and I'm sitting with, let's see, yellow is also November 4th contract. That one in there is a 292. And what's the price right now? It's a little high. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that one out. And I'm going to change that to, let's see, 292. We're at 388, 386, 387. 290. I'm not doing a call anyway, so I'll just send a 390 call in position. So I'm ready. This way, if I decide to do something, I'm all set. And let me see if it looks, yeah, you see you can tell that when you're looking at the actual small chart, it's not as spotty as the contract for the other one. There was very little going on in the other contract, which shows the amount of interest. And, you know, one of the things we don't talk about is interest on contracts. And when you're doing the SPY, you really don't have to worry about that. But thanks to Engineer, and I don't mean to bring her up or put her on the spot. I'm sure she's here right now because she's my buddy. And yes, a lot of you are. But she got involved with a stock a week ago. And actually, it was a perfect stock to get involved with. It was a good tip. I think it was TSHC, just off the spot of my head. And actually, it did have contracts, but I wouldn't have used the contracts. Why? Because it's the type of a stock that gets 110,000 on average in a day. And that particular day, it got almost 80 million shares trading. That's what a difference. But the problem is the actual contracts had no open interest. So she had a rough time getting out of the actual contracts. So when we look at a contract, just to give you an idea of something, one of the things, if you're going to look at stocks, oh, I don't have it in here? All right, I do have it here. I'm going to just bring it over. Okay, just give me a second. I have them up. I just didn't move them over this morning. I got smart. I used to take them all down every day. So if we looked at, let's say, November 4th, and we go up here where it says Delta Gamma Theta, and we go down to here, it says volume and open interest. We can look at this particular stock, and we can see that here's your volume and here's your interest. There's plenty of interest. There's 5,700 contracts worth of interest, okay? And there's plenty of volume on these stocks. But if we just went back to the stock that she looked at, and I think it was TSHC, I hope I'm right, and I'm wrong. I don't know if she's here. She could help me out here. I'm just trying to think of what it was. What was it? Let me see if it's in here. It's not in here. Recent. TSLA, it's not in here. Let's just look at a different one. Let's see if I can find something that gives me, let's see, there's no instruments for sober. I want something that we don't see every day. Okay. This one here, and actually she went further out too. So if I went to a November 2nd contract, let's say, and I have open interest, open. You see here, if you look here, the volume, how low it is, but she was looking at certain contracts that showed zero interest. So the actual contract dates that she was in, or the strike prices that she was in for that date, looked like down here. If you look on the other side and you see the puts right here on the bottom, it says zero interest. So if you were holding this contract, there's a good chance that you would not be able to get out of it. You couldn't sell it. So you got to be very careful that when you get into a contract, that you are able to get out of it. You see the interest here? There is none. There's no volume on these. There's no volume here, and there's very little open interest here. So you could end up getting stuck with that stock. She just happened to pick a stock that was really, really moving that day, and it went up as a stock. It went up from $2.25 to $2.95, but it was cheap enough that if she bought 1,000 shares, she only would have spent what? $2,000, and she could have got out. You can always get rid of the stock, but you can't always get rid of the options. I can't believe I can't remember the name of that stock. Let's see. I could have sworn it was TH something. I was looking at the PAQC this morning. PAQC? Let's see. Oh, it did nothing after. What was hers? THS. C? Let me see. Nope. I can't remember. TSCH. TSCH. That's not it either. Actually, that is a no, but that's not it. Okay, I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. But it was a stock that I looked it up, and it was really moving for that day, and it was number one in Finviz last week. So, unfortunately, THRD is not in here. It's not listed any longer. You know that's gonna bother me, and she probably knows it off the tip of her tongue. She wants to forget, but. It taught me a lesson at that time about the things that I need to watch out for. And open interest was one of those things. Because there's a lot of things here that I just don't know. You don't know. And we need to know. And she didn't know. And obviously it cost her. Fortunately, that the contracts were cheap enough that at max, I think her premium was $270. Where she should have won on the contracts big, she lost. And that's unfortunately. But here we are, and the SPY is running, okay? So you can see right now our resistance now. We're going back up again, 387.44. So I've got to say that we could probably move this up to 45 for right now. Let's see, 50. Let's see where we at, 50. That's good. There's our resistance. And let's say that right now we're probably down about 387.50. Right below the VWAP. So at 387.86. So 386. Let's say 386.50 will put us about $1 difference, and right under the VWAP. And usually when it pulls under, so that's where we're at right now. And if I was to, you remember before? I think I took it out. You didn't see it, but see my 388 before? I told you was my upper. So if I was to look right now and say that I have a target for something, it would probably be that 388 mark. Okay, so I just do this. And you need to do this for yourself, you know. You can do this, you can turn it red. I wonder why they don't have a red on the top. It should be. Red, and let's say make it 388. And that would be, wrong computer. See, you guys got me caught up in this now? And that's your upper target. I guess it's because I went to what's his name's room, and so I'm talking about the animals again. And there's your upper target as it was earlier. Just don't like this red. So my upper target should be a line like this actually. And my red should be more of a bright red. There we go. That's not even red. Below. You know what? I think I had it. I think it was good. Sometimes we're just not happy with what we got until we find out. And there's another one stuck in there. I got to get rid of that one. Edit. Let's remove price level. Good. All right. There we go. So now we got our support. We've got our resistance. And we've got our upper target. You all with me? Does this make sense? Anybody have any questions how I came to that? And do you agree? Do you agree with it? That's the key. Do you think that I'm right? Tommy, what do you think? Do you think that's definitely our resistance point is 387.50? The pullback, actually, I mean, as far as our support, we probably have support. I don't want to say that's too close. It could come down. We saw what happened earlier today when it came down. Where was that? Bam, 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 bam. And we should be looking like on a 5 minute, and you can see it. Remember before earlier when that thing came down? Here it is. Look at that. We would have thought our resistance was about, our support was about here, and look where we ended up, all the way down here. So I you know, when it comes to the SPY, you know, and that's why I don't like building a lot of those trend lines, okay? Because I just know the SPY is so heavily manipulated that it really comes down to your timing. So you either got that timing, you're with it that day, or you're not. And I just have to be more careful in the future, learning to do what I teach you, which is put in stop losses. Not just say a stop loss. You know, it's all good in mental stop losses, but what good would a mental stop loss have done you here or here or here? Okay? Look at that. It's from 387 down to 386. That was $1 just there. And that's on a 5 minute. Okay? We don't know minute to minute how much you could have lost if you don't have a stop loss. So Right now, let's see, what's FinViz? Let's see, our Dow, our S&Ps, our Dow is down 41 points, the NASDAQ's down 69, and the S&Ps are down 1,600. We got a pretty red chart today. Meta doing the worst. That is the reddest of red, is Meta, bright red. And our number one stocks today, which I haven't been watching much lately, is SONN, EFSH, ARAV, ATNM, and Getty. And Hoth probably this morning. Those are the top gainers of today. But I haven't been watching any of them because since I started doing options, I've been worried more and watching more of the, it's just so amazing how you do something for 3-4 years and then all of a sudden you get into something else. And now I'm also watching futures. So I've got my eye on futures like ESZ222. There's different, I don't know what it's doing today because I wasn't watching it today. I'm pretty laid back today, Last two are on my own, and the SPY pushed at 1 o'clock. They should all be on your own. Nobody should ever persuade you. You should always say, you know what, I agree with that move, and I can see why, and you should be able to qualify whatever time you pull that trigger. And if you're watching somebody else to make every one of your moves, you shouldn't be making moves. You're really not there yet. You should be paper trading. And that's just my opinion. If you have to depend on somebody else to make a trade, you shouldn't be doing it. You really need to learn. And just because we teach you how to learn how to become an independent trader doesn't mean you don't need a chat room anymore. I talk to a lot of people who say, you know what, I just get so many great alerts that I might not have been paying attention to. One alert out of a month. How many trading days? We got 5 times 4.33 weeks. So if you got 5 trading days times 4.33 weeks, you got 21, 22 trading days in a week. If you got one great alert a week that you ran for and made money, it's totally worth it. He makes sure we know and agree. Oh, that's right, he does. Because you know what? He knows that people follow every move he makes because he's a mentor. And it's not that it's wrong, but the reason I say you can't always follow Deck is because his bank account is so big that when he goes over a cliff, he can wait till it comes back. But for some of us, we can't wait that long. We have to have a plan. And if we reach that part of the plan, we have to jump off the boat, or jump off the cliff. And unfortunately, we're going to get hurt every time. So for him, listen, last week, I think it was Thursday or Friday, I followed him on a SPY. I don't usually follow Deck, but I did. And I had 5 contracts, and he was dead right, and it went all the way up after. The only difference is I got in a little higher than him, but I waited and I waited and I waited, and it came close, and then I thought it was going to jump up again, so I jumped out, dropped $1 something, and I had 15 contracts at one time. I would have made some decent money. Instead, I ended up losing. So you know what? Sometimes just patience. Just patience can be the difference of making money or losing money, And I wasn't really down. I already come from being way out to I was really close to breaking even. I should have waited. I waited that long, but I didn't. And eventually it hit enough tops on the resistance and it didn't get through, and it came back down, and I lost because I wasn't patient. It happens to all of us, including Deck. How many times have we seen Deck? He says, you know what, he's just going to take his loss, and then 30 seconds later, boom, the thing drops down, and he would have made how much money? It happens to all of us. I don't care how good. And look what's happening right now. You see the SPY? It hit its resistance. How many times? If we look at this right now, go to 1 minute for a second, because I didn't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it had a high. You see that? 1, the 6th, 7th. It started to come back, and look at where it went. And where did it fall? Below the 13 or below the 9. So you can see exactly. Now we have a lower. Right now may be a good time to go for that call and see if we can catch it back up. All right? But on the same hand, we are in the middle. But are we? See, if I look at this, I told you before, we might be closer up on the actual support. But I always figure that it could drop down as far as the VWAP, which it still might. But from 387 to 388, let's see, it's 387.50. So I have 387.50, and this is 386.50. 87. That's a dollar right there. 87.50. 387. Even if I put this up to, let's say, the 387, let's see, which only gives us a 50-cent leeway. See the breakdown here when it came down and touched, that would have been the new support. That would have been the time right there at 387. I told you it would have been a good call, and it would have. You could have scalped it, made 30 cents, and maybe now even 50 or 60 it might come back up. Now we're in the middle. So anybody can see that right now. And we're still on that. Let's go back to the 5 minute at this time. So as you can see, we still show downward, but we have a lower shadow here, which means there should be a reversal back up. Let's see. Let's see if it holds. I mean, right now, if you look at the trend line for the day, I'm looking below on the 1 minute, it looks decent. Yeah, if you look at this, I want to show you something. Let's go back to the trend line, and let's bring this to a 1 minute for a second. It looks way different. So if we took it from around here, let's see, from down here, let's see, I'm looking on a different chart. I got a high doji there, right there. From there to where we are right now, right there, boom. Okay, and then we'll bring it back to the 5 minute. We can also do this. We can take it from here. This is going to show you that channel that he was showing you earlier, which we're still in pretty much. Okay, and let's go back now to the 5 minute. And now you can see that channel, how different it looks. Because at this moment, it looks like we're going up in this channel, even on a 5 minute, even though there's a pullback right now. So if we looked at a 10 or a 15 minute on the channel, that was still, there's your pullback. See, you're at the pullback. So now you got to be careful. Looks so different in the channel now, but we are still in a channel, that kind of a channel. You know, right? You can have a channel from top to bottom, in the top to resistance, and you can have a channel for the time period that you're in, which shows you this type of a channel. And if we continue going up and up, you can see it's getting tighter and tighter. Okay, but that's what the chart dictates, not me. All right. Remember, I did it from a high point, so if I remove the back part, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to get rid of the left part of the drawing. But even from there to there, all I was going to do at that time was remove the left extension, just to show you where I started from. Same thing from here. I just hit the wrong section. So it's pretty cool. And this is what you should be doing on your own, folks. Is you should be drawing, you should be drawing your lines. And what's changed now? So we're at 387, right? I believe it's 387, and here we have 387.50. We haven't been able to get over that except here. And then if we took it, all right, let's remove these lines for right now. And let's remove the drawings here and here. Let's put the drawing line back in. And let's take it from here. There's a high point there and a point there. Boom. And then take it from, I want to take it from an area that we're in. So if you look at this right now, oh, it didn't hold. Good. If you look at it here, now you can see from here to here, and that'll show you that what we're doing is we're building lower lows, okay? We came here, we built lower lows several times until we started to reverse. And when we reversed, then we started to build higher lows, okay? But then we got to a point of resistance which is lower than the point of resistance from before, and that tells us that we are in a descending triangle, or we're still in a downtrend. And you can see right now what's happening. Boom. And remember I told you before, I didn't like the support there. I would prefer to have my right down below the VWAP. Let's get out of there. Remember I said to you, come down to the VWAP, and that's why I didn't want to do that. Come on. I'm going to leave the top one. Get rid of this line here. You know how I feel about the lines on the Okay, activate it, and let's push it back where it was. Remember, it was at about 386.50. I said if it drops, it'll probably drop right below the VWAP. And that's why I wanted it there before. I just brought it up to bring us closer to see where we really were at the moment in the support, but really was that our real support? And the chart says no. The chart shows us what keeps happening. Somebody's manipulating every time they drop it. Okay, they're dropping with a lot of shares, all right, at one time. Let's see, that last one there was 50, real quick down, about 55,000 shares. The red before that was 90,000. Smaller. So there was 4 reds in a row. So you went down 33 and 70 is 110, 130, 145, 245. So about 240,000 shares came down in a 5-minute period, you know. So it shows you it's not a lot. It's not a whole bit. It's not like somebody just dropping, 150,000 shares at a time. It's over a period of minutes. Right now, but every time it does that, if you don't have a stop loss and you're not with the cycle for your timing, it's going to bite into any profit. That's why when it gets to this time in the afternoon, a lot of people say, you know what, I'm done. I made my money this morning and I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to walk away with profit. How many people make profits in the morning and throw it all back in the afternoon? Happens to the best of us. And here we are, just about a touch, whether we're on the 5-minute or the 1 minute, there's your touch to the VWAP right there. So if I had to look at this right now, okay, went down, down, down. I think what's going to happen is we might pull down a little further and then it's going to come back up again. But watch next time it doesn't come up as far. Because what we're doing is building a staircase down. We have a downward trend. Does that make sense? Everybody see that? Reading your charts is very, very important. Knowing how to read a chart, knowing how to do plot lines, support lines, very important. Hold on 1 second. Okay. And that's it. Today's my day off. Level 2 resistance selling. Just looking what he's up to. Just correcting somebody's format in the other room. Still a moderator. And Sky Chimp was doing his, just got out of another put on SPX. A lot of people like the SPX over the SPY. It's a lot more costly, but you can also make a lot more money. So, it wasn't you did it too. I was correcting someone in the other room. That's really funny. Okay. Spank. I don't really care anymore. I do care, or I wouldn't do it. Anybody watching any other stocks right now? Let's see. I haven't even looked at my scanners in a while. Let's see what my scanners are saying. There's really not much going on. ONEI right now is the number one. Not much going on there. LFLY. That's 5%. Let me drop this to 4.5%. Try it one more time. See if anything else comes up. Not much more. Farm went up from 516 to 596. LFLY. SRRK went up from 930 to 1025. And VENA went up as much as $1. So VENA, SRRK, and FARM. Stick it in there. SRRK, those of you that are trading stocks, and VENA. And out of those, only Farm is shortable with Thinkorswim, if you're interested. All right. LCTX. I really like the fact that, I wish I'd known a long time ago about being able to put, even in my scanners, the HTB, ETB in there. So when I scan for stocks, I can say, hey, look at that. That particular stock is shortable. So it's free. I mean, shortable stocks that are ETB in what do you call it? TOS are pretty much free. They don't cost much. Pennies. And even the ones you have to pay for are usually no more than $4. But you don't get to use them all day. So, anybody have any questions? Anything you want to ask me about anything other than something that's not stock related? Anything stock related. I don't care if it's on Fibonacci, if it's on options, if it's on futures, which I don't know much about. If it's on anything that's stock related, ask your question. Now's a good time. There's 30 people in here, 26 people here could probably answer it better than I can. Well, maybe 25, because you're one of them. You wouldn't be asking the question if you knew the answer, would you? Would you? Would you do that to me? You probably would. Come on. You guys are really laid back. This is going to call Laid Back Monday. We got those Monday morning blues. Got the blues. What do you think? Anybody think the SPY's going to turn around right here at 386.50 and come back up again? Maybe go back up to the 14 right there. 14 EMA. See that? So you got about 386.90. Could go up 30-40 cents. It could be a good scalp, but we'll have to see. It doesn't look too promising on the 5-minute. It looks more promising on the 1-minute, but we try not to trade on that. Still coming down. It's got to hold the support area. 386.50, it's got to hold, or it's going to dump. What a weak day. I got to tell you, this is a weak day. Forget about that upper target. I just don't see it happening. And our top is still good here. TTM squeeze and versus the one you use, the Pro. Okay, that's a good question. There's a lot of added features, first of all, but I'm going to just give you an easier way to answer it. Difference between TTM squeeze and TTM squeeze. I mean, it's got different indicators in it. They're more expanded. What's the best time to trade squeeze measures more explosive? Okay. The Squeeze Pro is a more fine-tuned and designed to find more setups that the original Squeeze Pro offers. More edge form on different levels. Okay, let me open that up for a second. There's a lot of information through SimpleTrading.com. They're the ones that sell the actual program. All right. What's the difference between the Squeeze Pros? So you can actually, I'll list this for you. Here, there. What's the difference? And I can give you this, and you can do your own homework, because there's more to it than just a one-word answer. Okay. But mostly in the indicators, we'll show you there's 3 types of squeezes that can develop. Low compression squeezes, that shows you with the black dots that you don't see with the regular one. The mid compression squeezes, which are red dots, and then high compression squeezes, which are orange dots. Okay, now here you see the orange, you see the black, the green. Now when you see the green, it means it's already in the squeeze. Okay, it's already in that squeeze, and then you'll see the change right here to a lower compression. All right, that's where you see the pullback. All right, but those dots will tell you when you're pushing back up, and the colors. And then there's not only the color of those, but the color of these. And they're a little different on, I have 3 computers set up, and I have 2 different sets of colors. But pretty much it's still the same. Like here, I've got a blue, but there would be a darker blue. I'm not even seeing. I'm seeing 3 colors. I don't even see the. Oh yeah, that's why. I'm on different time zones. Okay, so if you're in a 5-minute, watch the difference. 3-minute, watch this change. Now you see 1, 2, 3 changes, but when you go to 1 minute, it changes again, and now you only see 2 colors. So depending on the actual, see in here, there was 2 to 3 colors in here before. So it will change color. See, this shows pink. I don't know why. I don't know if you can change it in here. You can. Okay, so mine must be in different. Here's up, decreasing, up, decreasing, down, decreasing. Okay, but you can reset colors, so I can actually make them the same as my other computer. But as long as you understand what those colors mean, okay. And you can do the same thing. So if you go in for the free one and you put them side by side and you look at the Squeeze Pro to the Squeeze, these charts might be the same, but the colors will be different because the colors denote different combinations of what they're doing, whether it's high compression, low compression, going up, going down, okay, and whether it's in the Squeeze or not. But there's a lot more information online. And did I give you this? Or I didn't. Yeah, okay. SimpleTrading.com is the company that sells. No, he's not the one that sells it, is it? John Horton. That's must be his son, Taylor Horton. Must be his son. Compounding Growth Mysteries, because I know that's where they sell it from. But the difference is support Capital Texas. Like I told you, it's $697. One of them is free, but he used to work for John. Was it not Horton? Carter. Oh, it's Carter. Okay, John Carter. So that's not the same. Let's see, John Carter. TTM Squeeze. I think it's Simple Trading. What did I just have? Is that Simple Trading? Squeeze. Yeah, Simple Trading. John Carter, Simple Trading. Yeah. So you can go get most of your answers right in here. Is that the same one? Simpler Trading. Yeah, it is. Okay. So pretty much it's the same. You can find out all your answers to your questions in there. And then you can make a decision if it's something you would want. You can get with me. Okay, if you don't already have it. I have not taken the weekend that I should to really go and check it. Now, I've been using the TTM Squeeze for a long time. I actually like the color coordinates on it, and I like the charting better than if I compared it back to back with a MACD. So what you could do is you can also open up a MACD, and you can put the MACD above it, and you can see the difference of how the charts work. And I think it's much better than the MACD. I think it's just... the guy knows what he's doing. Obviously, he's one of the application writers for Thinkorswim back in the day. I don't know if he works for them anymore. So I know I didn't totally answer your question, but I think I gave you the information that you need to go find out the difference, right? Scott, how's your trading coming? You were doing pretty good last week. I was following you. You seemed to know what you, Good. I remember last week making a comment about you. There's a lot to learn. We're always learning more. And there are so many tools that we can use. Like I was listening to Zach Hopper and a couple of people in the other room. And... like he uses Fibonacci. I used to use Fibonacci religiously, and maybe I should get back to it because it really gives you an idea of legs up. Like if this stock does this, it'll do this, this, and that. But if it doesn't do this, then it'll end up here, here, and here. And that's what Fibonacci can teach you a lot. It can't give you certainties, but it will give you certainties that if it breaks a certain point from past. And that's what we look at. When we look at fundamentals and technicals in the markets, we look at what past history has happened with particular stocks. And the SPY is no different, And every time he's looking at history, whether it's going back to pre-market this morning to find a pre-market high, or to look for old supports or old resistance points, that makes new supports. So these are the things that we're always looking for. Right now, you can see the bulls are strong. They're taking over, and I'm looking right now. And if you look at the SPY on the RSI, if you look really quick, let's see if I have it open. I do, but it's not up there. I'll just send it over. Last week, okay, just to show you how strong the RSI has gotten on the SPY. Oh shoot! Come on, what did I do? This is good. This is good. Okay, if you look real quick, this is the SPY, and this is the my watch list. And if you look at the SPY, it should be right around. Let's see if I can find it. If you can't find it, just put it in alphabetical order, and that'll bring you right to. It was already outlined. You see, the SPY is 57.83. About a week and a half ago, the RSI was 43.44. And then we got to 48. It was like overbought, for that point. But look at it now. We're 58. So a lot more people. And that's probably why the SPY has actually gone up from, in the last weeks or so, from a low of 348.11 back up to $388. So there's a lot more action. A lot more people are buying it. And a lot more people are holding it thinking, well, maybe this might be the bottom. Okay. I don't agree. I don't think so. I think a lot of what's going on has to do with the midterms. We saw what happened this morning when Biden opened up his mouth and stuck his foot in his. Usually, I love it. Last week he said that when he took over his presidency, that gas was over $5. So now that it's over $3, look how well he's done. That's such a trip when we know that gas on average is about $2.39, and we've seen it over $5-6 depending on where you live in the country. So anyway, I always get a kick out of the administration when they lie to us. So okay, what did I say? I offended somebody. About 6 people ran out of here when I mentioned the word Biden. Oh well, soft skin. It is what it is. You know how you get a Democrat out of the room? You mention the word Biden. They just run. I love it. Does anybody here feel good about what's happening in the country right now with the midterm elections and the direction that we should be going? I was listening last night to the English guy on Fox. He goes, they're going to take a licking. I think they are. I just pray. I'm praying. We got to take over the House and the Senate again. You know what? It's the only chance that this country has. And we need leadership. We need real leadership in this country because the world is watching everything that we do, especially the Chinese, the Russians, and not as much worried about Iran at this point, but North Korea, because they're all going to work together against us. I still think we're in a much better position than they are, but it's just a matter of time. I don't want to push the envelope to see who's going to win or lose. I don't think any of us want to see that. We just want to live our lives and not have to worry about doing it from paycheck to paycheck. And most of us shouldn't have to. Look at this thing. Here's your pullback. So this is not holding right now. All right, I'm still on 1 minute. Let's go to 3 minute, and you can see. But on the 1 minute, you could see that there was two minutes of pullback right there. Okay, so if I stretch this out a little bit, but we really should be on a 5 minute. The only thing I worry about with a 5 minute is like for some people who have smaller accounts, if they depend on the 5 minute, they could really get hurt, and can't always afford to do it. So even though it's the best way to learn how to trade, and right now if we look at a 10 minute, you can see we'd still be in a positive. Really, there's really no sign of which direction. There's a very, very high shadow here on the green side. So I was going to say, with that shows reversal. And there it is, even on the 10 minute, which means more on the 5 minute. That will be good for the market. If one party has the House and Senate and the other has the presidency, the market usually thrives. I agree. But unfortunately, even when President Trump became president, we actually did have control of the House and the Senate when he first took over. But the problem was that the right, which I'm from, the Republican was so messed up, and they were still so fighting on each other. And think about who the Speaker of the House was. He couldn't stand Trump. He still can't. And that's the problem. We don't have unity even within our party. And if you don't have unity within a party, just like the Bible says, a house that's not united, it's divided and will fall. And that's what's happening. We can't even get them to stand up and do the right things for the party, for the people. You know what? It seems it's become by the government for the government, and it was supposed to be by the people for the people. And I think they've lost sight of that. You know. Did anybody read that comment that was retracted by Elon about Paul Pelosi? It wasn't out there long. He took back his own Twitter. I did get to see a copy of it. It's pretty funny stuff. Supposedly the guy knew him, knocked on the door. It was his gay boyfriend. To each his own. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't. I can just surmise, but I can't believe Elon even made that comment. He's going to put himself in such trouble. You know what? I'm glad he bought the company, and I hope that he'll continue to let it run itself with the direction of the way he wants it to run. You know what I mean? If he spends too much time in the daily of how it's done, it may not be any better than it was before. But it is all about free speech. We'll see if we can get some more of that in this country. And some speech from newscasters that are more truthful. Wouldn't that be nice if we can read the news again? You know, I remember when I was first in college and I took up business and finance, I used to have to read the what do you call it, the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, and I always read the financials. I didn't read all the gossip garbage. I was only reading the business stuff. And I don't even know what to believe of there anymore. So I don't read any of it. I don't. I stay away from the news. I like Gutfield at night. It's the best comedy we have, 11 o'clock, Monday through Friday, on Fox. And it's rated #1. I mean, these guys are funny. They're funny. They don't care who they put down. They can be impartial, which is great. So, anyway, we're still pulling back. Bears are taking over right now. We're headed back towards that VWAP again. I don't know where our support is at that time. Probably back to 386.50. And what did I put it at? I have it at 386.50. There it is. See, I'm consistent at least. It's probably a little higher than that. It's probably 380. You know, it's not that far. I think it's 386, and if we're right there at 386.60, but I don't use those numbers. I like to use 25, 50, 75, or $1, whichever we're closest. But right there, even 386.75. But if we come down that low, there's a good chance we're going to pop below the VWAP. So let's see what's going to happen. On the 5 minute, we're looking a little weak right now. On the 1 minute, we're looking weak. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 candlesticks going down. So all I know is I already voted, and I voted to keep my governor where he is, right here in the state of Florida. I don't want to lose him to be the president of the United States. I like him just where he's at, and that's Ron DeSantis. People like in Texas who've got Greg Abbott and the lieutenant governor that you got some good people. Ted Cruz, great senator. Ted Cruz, believe it or not, is one of the most intelligent, constitutionalist, very, very bright, very, very bright. Too bad, I don't think he could ever be president. He wasn't born in the United States. I think he was born in Calgary. Where's that, Canada? So, I don't think he could never be the president, I'm pretty sure. He's not natural born. Wait a second. The law of citizenship question. Surprisingly, victory Iowa caucuses as a form. Ted Cruz, eligible president, held Friday at West. In Harvard School says two constituents debated whether Cruz's birthday in Calgary, Alberta, to a Cuban father and an American mother disqualifies him to serve as president. If he lived in the United States within 30 days after he was born, he would be considered a U.S. citizen. McCain was born in two U.S. citizen parents who had been deployed to the Panama. That's different. Deploying. So if they were deployed at that time, so they say he might be able to. I was just looking it up just for. He's a U.S. senator from Texas who's companion by New Hampshire Friday. Who came in second? Sponsored Harvard Federalist. If his parents were in the armed forces at the time, and they were what do you call it? They were like that's where they were sent to, but they were Americans. Then he would be an American citizen. He was born on American base. That's right. Thank you. Still considered American soil. Then I believe he can. That's correct. If he was born in an American base because his parents were deployed as Americans, then he's considered an American citizen. He would have what's called dual citizenship, but it would be considered that he was a natural born. I didn't know that, and that's, thank you, UConn, and I just looked that up when we got the information, and you being a UConn man, you should know that. So, cold today? I'm getting a chill just talking to you. Hee hee. That's my buddy, UConn Brad. Canadian based in USA growing up. I believe the rules are the same. No, it is. And I just read that Harvard Institute said that he would be considered. I didn't know that. I just read at one time that he was born in Calgary, Alberta, and I remembered that, but I didn't realize that it was on an army base. So yes, I'll tell you the truth. I think there are certain people that ran against Trump, and I don't remember. Did Ted Cruz did run for president, didn't he, against Trump at the time? I think Ted Cruz, Rubio, which I don't think he's ready yet, but I think that they all learned a great deal from President Trump, and I really don't think anyway that those are the guys that would run. I think that probably a good leader for this country, if it wasn't going to be Trump in the next run, I think would be Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo was a great head of the CIA. He was taken out of the CIA and then went to be a Secretary of State. He wasn't the first one for Trump. He was the second one. The first one was a sleeper. I forget the first one's name. He was actually a president, or he was a vice president, or somebody high up in one of the oil companies. I can't think of his name. I can picture him. And he wasn't that good at all. He slept on the job. But Mike Pompeo was really, really good. And if anybody's watched him, he's been online a lot. He actually has lost over 100 pounds. He looks great. And he's been talking it up a lot. I would definitely vote for that man to be president. And somebody else who wants to run, I believe, is the one who was the ambassador, the woman. What's her name? She was the ambassador to the United States in Canada. Not in Canada. What's her name? Oh, my God. U.S. ambassador. What was her name? Oh, gosh, I can't remember. Under Trump. I can picture her with the black hair. Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley was a very good ambassador. Former ambassador of the United Nations under Trump. She said she would never run second to anybody. But if they wanted to make an example to put a woman who was capable and a woman that was qualified, she would probably be in that area. But I'd like to see her as the vice president, and let's say Mike Pompeo as the president, if Trump wasn't going to run. Now, if Trump does run, I'd love to see Trump as president and Mike Pompeo as the vice president, which would put him in line to be the next president after Trump, because he can only serve one more time. But that's just my thinking, my feeling, just because I know these guys could run this country with dignity. And Mike Pompeo's already proved that. I really didn't care for Mike Pence that much, and I think that I don't think that Trump would want to serve with him again, between you and me. Or would he want to serve under Trump again? Who the heck knows? And some people think Mike Pence would make a good president, but I don't think so. I really don't. He made a good vice president. I mean, nothing can be as bad as what we have now, and nothing can be as bad as the vice president that we have now. The only vice president that was ever as bad as one we have now was Joe Biden. Two peas in a pod. Look, we're right in the middle right now in this. We're right in the middle Look how the trend line, the top trend line, has still held. You see that? We have not been able to break above that trend line. We're still doing lower lows. We just hit 386, 98, 99, and we hit below here. We hit below the VWAP, like I said we would before. I said we would go just under it. Okay, we're coming back a little bit. There was a good place when you hit under the VWAP before. I said would be a good call, and it was. You know, but not a great call, just a good call. It's just a good scalp. But we're still pulling down. We're still reversing. I still think we're going to go lower. We could hit support. Let's see. And as far as right now, let's see. Yeah, the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the S&Ps are all down. It's a time. You know what? I picked a good day to take off. To be honest, honestly. He's gone already. He's gone. He's gone. I'm the only one here. Biggest. So right now we're in a downward trend. I would be very careful. I'm not really trading today. I've already made it in my mind that, you know, there was a couple of good runs this morning and I didn't jump into it. I just didn't, and I should have. But it's always those woulda, shoulda, couldas, you know, that we don't. And we pay for, we're sorry later. So it is what it is. Right now I'm just going to be careful and I'm going to do my own thing. And I'm almost ready to call it a day. 21 degrees in the Yukon. Jeez, and that's Fahrenheit. That's cold. As long as it's not windy, I guess. It's not bitter cold, right? Just cold. How's the wind factor? Because if you got over 10 miles an hour wind there, woof, then you could stick to a piece of metal. Anybody got any questions? Anybody watching anything? Let me see something. I'm gonna undo this so I don't change it, and then I'm going to take a look at a few things. I'm gonna look at farm. Wow, farm's going up. Anybody watching farm? Farm is up the new high of the day, 604. And let's see, look at Vena, V-E-N-A. That one there came all the way down and all the way back up again. But I like the farm. SRRK hit a high of the day and just did nothing after that. SQQQ, nothing. OXY, nothing. Ford actually came up today. I don't know what its low was, but it's doing good. AMC, oh, it's nowhere. BBBY, nowhere. ENPH, no, nowhere. Let's see, what about, I don't see Meta in here. I guess it's not. Yeah, here it is, Meta. That's down today. So that didn't do anything. Boy, those are bad shape. And Tesla was good this morning. It hit a high, actually, lunchtime, 229.68. So Tesla's been up there today. I was watching it earlier, but I stopped watching it this morning. Yeah, Tesla started off high, came all the way back down to a low, and then went up all day after that. So if you got into Tesla at about 10:30 this morning, 10:35 this morning, it was a full run. It was a home run from there because it was at 222. Oh my God, that thing went up $6. Went up, down, up, just hit a new high. That Tesla's doing great. People are very happy with Elon right now, I guess. So I didn't get enough sleep last night. I finally put my sleep watch on. I only got 6.3 hours. It's not enough for me. When you get older, you need a little more sleep. And 387, let's see. This is up and down in this channel. So we could see right here, 388. I think it's 60. I'm going to move it up a little bit. Let's move it to about there. I think that's where we are. 388.60. Okay, and let's see. 388.60. 60. What did I say? 386.60. 387.50. I think it's coming down lower. 30. Let's see if we can pop through before I lower this thing. 380, 38, 35. I mean, to give it a real deal here, I mean, 50 is where I should keep it, but I think we're more like at the moment at 35 as a support. Let's see. Probably 25. We've been coming down. It was 35 before. Let's put it down to 25. Let's see if we can hit it. I put it down, so it'll probably go over now. Let's see. We still haven't broken that trend line, that upper trend line, you know, from the top of the day. So you can pretty much see it. Still the same. Make it more exact. There you go. Perfect. Perfect trend line. Let's see. I still see downward trend. I still see downward trend, lower lows. Though we haven't really, you know, we've been able to hold up at that view up. I just don't want to make this the same as the view up. That would make it 386.70. So I have it at 50. At 20 cents, I can make that much of a difference. That's about it. I lived in the Canadian bases in the USA. I believe that the rules are the same. What rules? There's Yukon. There's rules? What kind of rules are there? And why would you have grown up in bases in the USA? Are you from the USA originally? Just curious. And can you have dual citizenship from Canada and America? Are those two countries that you can have dual citizenship? See, I have dual citizenship with Israel and the United States. It's automatic for me. Even though I don't practice Judaism. You like Ted Cruz, born on American soil and in Calgary. Yeah, but you said you lived on Canadian bases in the U.S. I gotcha. But were you born in a USA base? You said you lived in Canadian bases. He was born in Calgary on a U.S. base. So I'm sure the rules are the same, but the question is, were you born like Ted Cruz, born on Americans? Were you born in the USA? Born in the USA. Who was that? Rick Springsteen? You know, I never really cared for him. He was too pop. A lot of people loved him. I mean, I didn't dislike him. I just didn't love him. I was born here, but I know the rules as I lived in the USA twice. We threw you out? I'm kidding. I've never been to Canada. Andrews Air Force Base. Yeah, there you go. And Wheeler, Florida and Hawaii. Andrews upstate, up in the Panhandle. And Wheeler. That must have been nice in Hawaii. I know Andrew. Hey, Andrew, don't they have a jail there too? So like the prisoners eat on one side of a fence, and then because they have a federal penitentiary up there, so it's all right on the Air Force Base. So oh yeah, I love God has a capital G, by the way. Let's give God all let's give him all he deserves. Capital G. Capital G. Oh, you were a child. I gotcha. Well, grow up. Let's see. I forget what it's called. Federal prison next to Andrew Air Force Base. Let's say, showing federal prisons next to Andrew. Fort Dix, Federal Bureau of Prisons. A low security federal correctional institution with an adjacent minimum security satellite camp. Right there. Federal Bureau of Prisons. Right there. Called Fort Dix. FCI Fort Dix. Auxiliary Federal Bureau of Prisons at Field. Federal Prison Camp. Eglin. Eglin. I think that's it. Maybe it's Eglin Air Force Base and not Andrew. Lumpac. So they have a couple of them. So I think it's Eglin's one I'm thinking of. That's it. Maybe not Andrew. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Federal, Montgomery, Alabama, Fort Pierce, Fort Dix. Yeah, I think it's Eglin. To guide cleanup. FFA to guide cleanup efforts on sign the federal facility. No, they do have federal facility. That's who cleans up the place. Prior convicted felon sentenced 25 years in prison attempted to produce child violent crimes. I don't know. Don't matter. Dark Trader, Eggton and Oklahoma, which is on the airport grounds. Yep. Been there, Sally. Sally? Been there, Sally. Also, Elton and Oklahoma, which is on, yeah, a lot of federal prisons are right next to them. You know, it's usually minimum, what do you call it? They're usually camps, which means they could walk out, but they wouldn't because their sentences are so reduced, and they get to clean up the grounds and blah, 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 blah. So, Doc, you spent some time, sadly. You're not the only one. It is what it is. Four years is a long time. I hung out for about 16 and a half months myself. Federal police dressed like postmen. They got these funny looking outfits they wear. Shorts. They look like mailmen, I swear. Oh, conspiracy. You know, there's more people in federal lockups for conspiracy to do something they never did than people that are locked up for the actual crimes. That's a fact. Well, conspiracy not to change your underwear is a very, very, very serious offense. You gotta change your underwear. Sad. It is what it is, you know. We all have a past, Dark Trader. That's why we call you Dark Trader. You live in the dark. Dark Trader, do you still live in Oklahoma? And I know the markets are dead. I'm not. That's why I'm not trading. When's that meeting? Wednesday? I don't even know when the meeting is. When is that? Oh, you live in Ohio now. Okay. The Fed meeting. When is the next Fed meeting? Let's see. November 1st and 2nd. Oh, wow. So it's tomorrow and the day after. So it's Tuesday and Wednesday. In case anybody is interested, there's your Fed meeting calendar. There we are. First time. Here we go. First time we just broke the trend line. You see? Right here. Right over there. We just broke that trend line. That's a good sign. But I think there should be pullback at 387.25. We're right there right now. So if there's no traffic pulling in right now, okay, then we don't pick up volume, which I don't think we will. I think it'll pull back down again. Let's keep an eye. This is the first time we pulled above there. This is the first time. If you're going to do a put, keep it close. I might wait till 387.45. 387.45, somewhere around there. Let's see. It is 2:30 in the afternoon already, so Eastern Standard Time. You could be seeing some sprout of volume right now. We've got 356,000 on a 5-minute. That's 70,000, excuse me, per candlestick. A little more, about 80 would be 400,000. We just hit it just now. So we are picking up some volume. But I still think we're going to come back down. Yeah, what peaking is right over the resistance. But I think that the 58% on the SPY right now is overbought for the SPY. So even though most stocks we look at 70% or better, I think this is high for the SPY right now. Power hour here soon. 387. I'm going to tell you, it's so tempting right now to do. We hit for a second there. I think that's where you should have done it. If you're going to do a put, should have done it around 387.35. Let's see. Might get one more shot at this. Coming up now. We are bull flagging on a 1 minute, to be honest. If you look at the 1 minute right now, I'm going to go show you, or even 2 minute. We got a small bull flag there. Yeah, look at the 1 minute. Ready? 1 minute. Okay. There it goes. There it goes. Nobody knows, but there it goes. Okay. We're looking good. I'm going to remove this trend line since we've gone over. And I'm going to remove that. We could put it back from here to there at 25. And there's your pullback, like I told you. There's the pullback. I told you 35. Where you get that from 58%? What are you talking about? Who said 58%? What are you talking about 58%? You lost me. Power hour soon. We're peeking through. I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody said anything about 58%. You did. The SPY? I never said 58%. I said 387.35. That's all I said. I didn't say 58%. The only way I ever talk percentages is if I talk Fibonacci. I think you misunderstood. You can go listen to the tape over. I never said 58%. Don't let my New York accent fool you. I never said 50 before that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. We're peeking over the resistance. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. Now I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. You are correct. I'll show you. All right? Watch. Ready? Right here. You see the SPY? What's it say right there? 58. That's the RSI. 58% right now. So the RSI, you don't have to rewind. Now I know what you're talking about. I did say that. The 58% is because all of last week we were at 43, 44%, and 48 was overbought for the SPY at that time. Now we've moved up, and 56, 55 has been the RSI. Whenever we hit 58, we're a little bit overbought on the RSI. That's what I'm talking about. So the RSI. And I said before, it's great that you can put the RSI in here better than in the chart. Because if you put it in the chart, you see where this is at right now? If I put the RSI, watch this. If I add the RSI in here, watch the difference. Alright? Let me add it to my chart for a second. And you'll see the difference. It's not the same. Now, let's see. Here's my RSI. Where is it at? 56, 50. It's not correct. Okay? This is showing actually about 57. I have to go to a day. That's on a 5-minute. Let's look at a 1 minute. Ready? Watch. See how all the numbers are different? The only way I can go to that is to put it on a daily. Oops, I missed it. I missed it. Let me see. That's a weekly. Let's say 180, 200. If I put it on a daily, then I should hit see the 58. Then it's correct. And that's why I don't use it there. And I took it out. Plus it slows you down. So I only use it from the what do you call it, chart? Oh shoot. Look what it did to me. Oh, so I'm on a daily. Should be right now. That's why I use it from here, because it's always on the daily and I don't have to change it. And it's correct. 58.16%. And the SPY has popped again. I thought I took this out. Didn't I take that out? Remove the drawing. And there's going to be the new target. I took it out. I had it in there earlier. I had 388 in there earlier as my upper target. And I think we're going to go for it. Here it comes. But you might want to do a, what do you call it after that? 388.25, 388.20. I think 388.80 for pre-market. If we bring this in and we go to pre-market, let's see if I can see it. I'm on the 5. So 388 right there. Let's bring that in. Right over there. So right here we had 388.80. This isn't correct, but I think it was 388.80. It was in pre-market. 388.80. There it is. 388.80. Like I said before, that's your pre-market. So here 388. Deck said earlier even 388.82. Let me get rid of that. Put this back here. Go to here. Okay. Let's see what we got. So 388 is good place for heavy for more resistance, and I think you'll see a pullback. We did go over once or twice right there at 388.14, 388.30. Remember I said before 388.25. If it hits 388.25, you got a good put. I don't know why it would keep going. Any news? State Department says Russia's halt of participation in the grain deal. People are going to be hungry. North Korea news. For assistant military. North Korea flexing their muscles again. So Dark Trader was listening when I said that 58. Good deal. Good deal. I did say that. You were right. Does it make sense? Or do you don't think on RSI at all? Do you take that into consideration? Traders, you should always take the RSI into consideration. It's not something that, keep that in mind. Keep your time and sales in mind. Keep your level 2 in mind. See what's going on. Okay. See how much. If you got more people buying from here, the price will go up. If you have more people selling, the price will go down. Keep an eye on your level 2. Always keep an eye on your level 2. Okay? Not that we have the best, we got the worst level 2 on this broker, and you can see right now there's a lot of resistance right now. We did build a higher low. If you look right now, that's a higher low. So be careful here. It could go one more time. We got a little pullback here, and we'll pull back Well, we pulled back above the 13. The resistance has gone up. I'm going to do it from down here. Let me just see something real quick. 67. So let's do this. Okay, there. Okay, let's put it up there. Actually 60. 65. Let's make it 70. 75 would be the real resistance point. You know, if I keep it at 25s right there. Let's see if we can get over that point. All right. This is what we're looking at right now. 387.25 on support and 387.75. So tighten it up a little bit. I use RSI and MACD. Well, I don't use the MACD anymore. I use the Squeeze Pro. I think even the Squeeze, not the TTM Squeeze, is still better than the MACD. But as long as you're using something that works for you, that's all that matters. I used the MACD for the first 2-3 years of my trading. MACD, RSI, time and sales, level 2, and charting. Charting is so important. Kush uses that also. No, Kush uses the Squeeze like I use. He uses the Squeeze Pro. I know, I gave it to him. But he was using the Squeeze before it. But he uses the Pro now. He does have the Pro. He got it from me. I like watching him trade. Right. Squeeze Pro. But he uses the Squeeze. When we first met him, he was using the Squeeze. I just said, hey, I can make it available. And I did. So, anyway, there we go. You can see all the resistance up there. We did hit, if you look real quick, right up there at 387.75. We hit for a split second. And that's why I said we're really more at 387.60. What did I put it at? 75. But I think it's really more like 60 right there. That's twice we hit there. You know what happens? I'll lower it. And you know what will happen? I'll lower it and it'll go up. Yeah. Tried using them on the trade views. It's locked. Oh, well, maybe because it was made for the actual Thinkorswim. So there could be some sort of a setting you have to adjust. I don't know. You have to put that online. Trading Views is very good. Trading Views is a good program. I'm tired. I didn't get enough sleep last night. I'm surprised that the traders didn't try to push this up to 390 today. Oh God, I'm so tired. Yeah, I'm tired. Where's my baby girl? Where's Lobar? Oh, there he is. Ha! I was just mentioning his name and he shows up. Look at that. I just mentioned your name. I look over and I see you typing. That is so funny. That's so funny. I didn't even see it. I swear I just thought of you. I didn't think you were doing... I know, I'm not doing today. I'm just here. I was doing this because I went into AK's room and he had a whole thing with dogs on there. And he went on for about 15-20 minutes about dogs. So I figured maybe somebody wanted to talk about trading. So, that's all. That was the only reason. And I know he's not in here because he don't watch me. I think we're gonna head for how many? I don't know. We're building higher lows right now. Engineer, how are you today? I talked about you before. I saw you were parked in the room. I was trying to think of that stock that you had all those problems with. I couldn't remember it. I forgot it. Out of sight, out of mind. I could not remember the name of that stock. It started with a T that had no interest in it. I was trying to teach the room about the low interest. SPY calls 389. Let's see. I've got 390. That's fine. And November 4th. Paid 470. Okay. It's about where it's at, isn't it? I see 389. Let me just change mine. Mine is 390. That's expensive. 389. Let's see. 389, right? Yeah, 4 south. So you're up a little bit. It's so funny. I had a 390 contract in there. It was just a little further out of the money. I'm not really trading. I'm just watching. I was too tired. I didn't get enough sleep last night. My cat keeps me up at night. She gets fed early in the morning and she jumps on me. I'm be in a deep sleep and I can't get back to sleep. Oh, look at that pullback. Ready? Nice pullback. Here it comes. Here it comes. Big pullback. Wow. That thing just shot. Let's see. On the 1 minute, that was 115,000, 215,000 more. Here it goes. Going lower. 250,000 shares in 2 minutes. I'd be careful. I told you all to be careful at this point. Now, what are you going to do? Double up? Cost average up? Or you go the other way, cost average down? Playing with fire. Playing with fire. That's the way to do it. If you're going to take a loss, get out quick. Keep it under $75. I was looking at the price you got in. It was too high up. Got to be careful this time of day. And it might come back again. It might come back up, but who knows? We'll have to see. Right now we're at the 13 on a 1 minute. Actually, on the 5 minute we're on the 13. On the 1 minute we're, I don't know what that line is in the middle there. I have no idea what that is. Moving average exponential. If that's the 13, what's this lower line right there? It's a new study customizing. That's what keeps throwing me off. 50, 100, displace. Let's try 13 in there and see how that looks. 50, 200, and 13. Apply. Doesn't work. Moving exponential. And this one. Huh. Yeah, I got it. There was an extra line on a new study. I didn't want to lose the study, but I didn't like the line. I just had to take off the plot. My gosh. It was throwing me off. We're on the... Let's see what happens. Our supports come down. $387 support. 387 support. Not really. Not really. 387.10. There it goes. There it goes back up, but she already got rid of it. Too bad. Too bad. That's better. 387.10. 387.10 support. $387.10. $387.50. I said it might still come back up because went up may be short opportunity. No, don't chase. Right now, Tesla went up, but right now, let's see. Tesla had a high day, 229.85. $229.85. That was like 6 minutes ago. It pulled back when the SPY pulled back. So let's say might be coming back again. 370. If you had held, you'd be right where you were supposed to be. I had a feeling that was going to happen because up until then we were building higher lows again, but we're still at a lower low now. One more time, it's going to go up. We're going to break through resistance right now. It's got to go to 380. Let's see if we can break 387.50. Over there playing the mouse drums. Mouse drums? I ain't got no drum. I'm just here minding my business. I play guitar anyway. I'm not a drummer. Power of Grayskull. Here we go. Here comes the 50. Come on. Up, up, and away. Come on. I want to see it go just for the hell of it. It's not going to make it. A lot of resistance right here. You can see those upper shadows on that 350 mark. It's going to be a turnaround right here. 352, 3. Well, nope. There it goes. Up, up, and away, like I said. So I was right. A lot of resistance. Just can't do it. Wow, look at that pullback. Look at that pullback. It's not what I expected. Not that hard. I knew it was going to pull back. I told you it was a good put. I called it at 350. 387.50. Told you it was a good put. That would have been a good, that would have been a really good scalp. That's what I call. Stay calm. Just a correction. And a big correction at that. That was a perfect put. I did say, go back and listen on the tape. I said 386, 387.50 was a lot of resistance, and it was a good time. Then it went to 353. It hit 358, and it came all the way back. So I was right. It was a good put. I haven't spoken call once today. I told you it's always better to wait till the resistance and get in than to try to call the new resistance. I can't do it. I can't do it. Catch the bounce. Well, I don't think so. I think it's going to go down. Catch a bounce and you put yourself on top of the world. Doo-doo-doo. Watch out for the rocky bottom. Boom, 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 boom. That's a plane jumping rope. Fake out, breakout. See that? That was a fake out right there. That was a real fake out. Fake out, breakout. Double touch. Look at this. That's some fake out. It's going down. I told you don't catch a bounce. It's not a bounce. Going for a lower day. I don't trust this market. It's like a roller coaster. Anybody take that put? That was a good put. I actually called it at three. I told you 387.50. That was $1. I should have grabbed it myself. Perfect. That's three times today I called it for myself. I didn't take it. There's something wrong with me. Excuse me. Elevator's going down. And it's continually going. Going down. All aboard. Wow, still going. Let's see if we can hold 386. Let's see if we can hold that 386. Fake out, breakout. Did you see that? That was a real good fake out. Unbelievable. Carter Jackson. You heard it. You should have taken it. That was a great call. I said there was a lot of. For a second there, I thought maybe it was going to keep going at 387, 50, 1, 2, and then it hit 3, and then it hit 8, and then it pulled back. Boom. So I was right. 387.50 was a lot of resistance. Well, you can look up there, and you can see. Okay, you had one. That's on a 5-minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when you look at the 1 minute, okay, and that's why I look at these things. Okay, also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that was the 6th time. 51. Let's see what we got. Yeah, right there. 47. There was the one breakout right there. 60, 58, 50. So that's why I keep a 1 minute open. So I can see how many times it's bouncing. And now we can go to 10 minute. You'll see. All right, another fake out breakout. We're still holding 386. We're still holding 386. $385 end of the day. I don't know what. Well, you can look over here. You had 385.25, 383.45, 385.50. 385.50. If I was a guessing man, 385.55 right there. That would be my lower target at this point, right there. So we come over here and right there, we just bring it over. Okay. So we just take this, boom, edit it, change the lines, and make it a lower target. Right there. Boom. There's your lower target. All over the... I mean, you look at this chart, and we're all over the place. Let's go back to the 5 minute. We're all over the place. Look at this. We went up, down, all the ways up, down, all back up to the VWAP plot again. So we hit that VWAP plot upper once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we tried 2 more times, and we came all the ways back, and we're headed for the lower. We only hit the lower in the very beginning of the day. Boom, 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 and then we came one more try, and then we went up. Look at that. But that was a nice shot. It goes to tell you, whenever you hit a bottom in the morning, always take it straight up. And every time I don't, I always lose. I'd be careful around here. 386 is definitely our right now. 386. support. Right there. That's our support. 386. And then VWAP as top support, top resistance. Carter Jackson. How you been since we spoke? I haven't spoken to you. It was a nice conversation on the phone. A lot of people here don't get that conversation. We had a nice talk. Single mama. Love what I do. I love what I do. I'm the active trader, and this is my world. And I was off today. Like I said, I wasn't going to do this today. I came in late purposely. I'm still too tired. What did I happen to J Trades? Supposed to announce my power hour. Power hour. We've been in power hour now 8 minutes. I'd be careful the rest of the day. I wouldn't even trade. You just don't know which way it's going to go. It's just a little guesswork. You know, don't want to lose any money. Still wants to come down. There's our lower target. That's our target, you know. What do we call that again? I'll put it out there for you. Lower target. So you can see that. So our resistance, our support, and our lower target. And we're going to hit it. We'll see. Somebody said, who is that? 385. Engineer. See if she's right. She could be right. There's a very good chance we break through that lower target. We'll find ourselves in territory for a lower target. I just put it because there's a lower VWAP. We didn't fall through once or twice on a tip. That's why I figured that'd be just a tip right there. So we'll see. I think we're going to hold. We should be in the red by now on the NASDAQ, the Dow. We're down 170, 190, 166, 132 on the NASDAQ, and 34 on the S&Ps. So we are down. AK's gone. Not even in the lobby. Deck's live. Deck is live. That's so funny. You know what he's looking at right now? I just mentioned it. The FinViz on the S&Ps and the Dow. And here he is.
So the thing is, whenever the S&P 500...
That's so funny. Didn't I just bring... I beat him to it. And here's our hold. I don't want to assume Tesla's going to the VWAP. Well, it might. FRB. That's the tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be another day, you know. Want to see what happens with the meetings, you know. Don't be surprised if tomorrow is another crazy day. Look at that return. So there's we just tipped our lower target. We just touched it. Look at that. Where was it at? 385.50. We just tipped it above it, and we came up. That was it. We hit it. So I called the right target for the lower target. Doesn't mean engineer couldn't have been right. She could have. But 385. I just went off the actual VWAP plot. I knew it should be just below the plot itself. And that's why I'm telling you, folks, if you number one, you should have a VWAP on your page. Because always above the VWAP is bullish, below the VWAP is bearish. And you should always have those two other plots. I don't know how I went 3 years of trading without it. I didn't used to use it. And then one day somebody pointed it out, or I came across a video that explained it again, and I go, wow, what a powerful tool. And I just didn't want all those lines on there, you know. That's why I don't use Fibonacci anymore. I'll turn it on for a second, but I'll just use it for me, and I'll use it to call out the numbers for you. But I don't like the lines all over. I don't even like the trend lines with the SPY. I am okay with it with smaller stocks, but not stocks like this. This is so volatile. I mean, look where we were. We're all over the place. We started up, came all the ways down, worked our way all the ways up to a new high, came all the ways down, went up again to the VWAP plot, came down to the lower VWAP plot, went all the ways back up. We didn't hit the upper VWAP plot twice, and came back down and touched and went through the VWAP plot again. So, great tool. Got to be crazy not to use it. And with that, folks, I think that's going to end my day. Deck's live right now for anybody who's interested. Okay. If not, I'll just let it run. Just take a few minutes. All right. I'm just taking a little break. I'm tired. Did you miss me? All right. How to stretch my legs? I'm stretched. Feel better. I don't celebrate Halloween. I did as a child, but then I learned the truth. And then the truth set me free from that pagan holiday. But I guess it's nice to get dressed up and it's nice to get free candy. Problem is, you don't know when you're getting candy or fentanyl. So I think I'll take a pass and save my children's lives. Or, as it would be said, my grandchildren's lives. So we celebrate Hallelujah Night instead. I'd rather praise God than praise Satan. That's just my way of looking at it. But I sure did look forward to it as a child. Who doesn't like free candy? My dentist loves free candy. He gave out candy. He always had candy jars in his office, I swear. Freaking guy should be shot. That's Deck as a little kid, right? Batman running around. This thing can't get up there. 385, 385.50. I know it was muted. I was actually, I was just laying back. I was actually listening to Deck a little bit just to see what he was saying. But I'm here. I'm here. 3:20. You want me to talk to you, Yukon? You like to hear my voice. I understand. My video was on. You could see me. I wasn't talking. I'm just watching, you know. It's like at this time, it's not, you got to be very careful. Whether it's going to hold up at resistance or break through, is it worth the gamble? Is it worth the risk versus the reward at this period of time? And I hate at the end of the day, you're at the last, I can't do 5 minutes because it goes by too fast on here. I got to go back down to about a 2 minute. We're going to go back from resistance, stay in that channel, and we hit our lower. There's our lower. 386. 386. 385. 386. Still at 386 and still 387. 87. 86, 75. We're still right there at the VWAP. Wherever the VWAP is the your resistance is right at the VWAP. See if we can break through. Depends on the volume. Right now on 2 minutes, that's a lot of volume actually. That's over 100,000 per minute. So that's pretty good. Deck's watching it on a 3 minute. You want to watch the 3 minute? I only put the 2 minute because I actually do watch the 3 minute a lot. Hi, baby girl. There's my sweetie. Yes. I'm my baby girl, huh? My cat's here. My cat's here. Say hello to everybody. Why don't you meow for them or something? They're looking for you. Yeah, they're looking for you. Yeah. Yeah. That's my baby. That's my sweetheart. Yes, I love you. I love my girl. You're so fuzzy. You're so fuzzy. Give me a hand. Shake. There you go. There you go. Give me a hand. There you go. Did you all see that? I got her to shake my hand. How many cats shake hands? I taught mine how to do that. She shakes hands. I just had to get you all to see that because nobody would believe me. My cat shakes my hand, but then she expects something, right? You want a treat? You do. Hungry? Hold on, I gotta get a treat. Yeah. There you go. There you go, sweetie. Okay. That takes care of her. Oh my God. See? A lot of resistance at 387. You're not going to get 387, 386.75. You're not going to get over that. Not going to get over that now. Last minute of the day. Excuse me. Here we go again. Okay, what kind of a day are we going to have tomorrow? What time is the meeting? Anybody know the time of the meeting? If it's in the morning? What is that, the FMC meeting or something? What's it called? Let's see. FMOC. FMOC meeting. Just to see what time it is tomorrow. Okay. When is the next Fed meeting? FMOC meeting. 2022. calendar. Let's see. Okay, it only tells the date. It doesn't tell us the time. 2023, same date next year. 2022, November 1st and 2nd. It doesn't tell us what time. That's very strange. 8 times a year it meets. It's got to be in the morning. 10 o'clock. Budget meetings, 31st October. GMT, reverse repo operation. I don't know what time it is tomorrow. I'm going to assume it's in the morning, 10 o'clock. All right. Oh, wow. I dropped one of my pills. Eat that. You dropped it. There it goes. Broke the resistance. If we can get through over 386.75, it will go to 387. Okay. We'll go to 387. We can break. There it goes. There it goes, folks. All right. There you go. All right, 387. Last minute, always at this time, 330, 331, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's always around that time. Be careful. Just be careful. If you're still trading, be careful. 387. I'm still on 389 as a call, and 384, 385 as a put because of price. On November 4th, contracts. And there you go, 387. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bingo. Went over. Like I wrote on the board. Here we go again. My mic is on now, right? Yeah. Deck says he's green on the day and he's not going to do anything. He's not touching it. Nice trade on SONN. Okay. Me, I'm just going to call it a day. But tomorrow I will be live, probably after the morning, about 10:30. As soon as Deck comes off tomorrow, I'll be on live. And I'll be live for the day. I want to make sure I get enough sleep tonight. I'm just too tired. There you go. 387 is all the resistance. That's all she wrote. You cannot get it any higher than that. Sorry. And there's a pullback. 387. 386. 386. So we got 387 and 386.50 as our support now. We've moved the support up. We'll see how we open tomorrow morning in pre-market. Tell us the kind of a day, but until this meeting's over tomorrow and Wednesday, I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday, first and second. I expect it to be a crazy day, an off day. Right? Everybody agree with that? Yukon left. Andrew, Chase, Dodge, Eric, Fund Manager, John Yu, MSBTA. Who else? See, I stopped talking. People left before they thought I was gone. Engineer's gone. You know what, folks? I'm going to call it a day. I'm tired. I don't think there's anything much more going on. I wouldn't trade anymore today. There's no reason to throw away any good money that you must have made. And if you lost today, don't chase it. You'll just throw away and lose more. You cannot predict what's going to happen at this hour. It's too late. I will not touch options at this time. So I'm gonna say goodnight, and I'll leave this run till 4, and I'll see you guys all in the morning. All right. And if you're trick-or-treating, be careful about the candy you eat or touch, because there's some sick people out there putting some garbage out there. And there it is. It ran. Look at that. Look at that. It is running. It is running a little. That puts us at 386, 387.25. That's your new resistance point. Again, I still say I wouldn't trade. I'd be careful. And that would put us right now at just below our VWAP. 386. I'm going to leave it where it's at. All right, guys. See you off tomorrow. This was my day off, so I came in for an hour or two just to be with you people since 1 o'clock. So 3.5 hours is enough straight. All right? I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for the support. Bye.